Hey fellow Star Citizens, Scrapjet here. In today's episode, I'm going to be doing my first impressions of the Drake Corsair. I am actually currently right now in the PTU, and in a minute here we're going to go over and take a look at the Corsair, and we're going to try running a few missions with it, and maybe do a little cargo run. So, I don't know, let's see. Let me tell you something else that happened to me too. Apparently, I recorded this for a little over an hour, I think, of raw footage, only to find out that the microphone wasn't working, and all I got was static. Yeah.
Vehicle selected. Stand by.
So basically, I am commentating.
Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location again.
Commenting on a video I made that I was already commenting on. So, let's see how this goes. I don't know. Thankfully in the PTU, everybody gets their own Corsair, which is really hysterical. I saw so many people flying Corsairs today. It's ridiculous. Also, I don't think New Babbage had this many terminals ever, or hangars, ever. I remember, this is where I first started a couple months ago, and maybe there was, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 hangars, and now all of a sudden there's like 19. And there's a guy in here with me, I don't know why. He has his own Corsair. He's not needing to mess with me, but he did anyway, so. Alright, so here's the Corsair. It's, honestly, I thought it was going to be bigger than this. I don't know why, but, I mean, obviously it wouldn't be as big as the Carrack, but I thought it would be bigger than this. The wings make it look big, but the body itself, I don't know. I'm not. Now, look how high that wing is. I don't know how this thing's going to fit in a hangar at one of the space stations, like Everest Harbor or someplace like that. So here's the elevator to get inside. You can also get into the ramp in the rear. And it has 3 little levers. And here comes Naked Man. He's probably going to join me. Yeah, he joins me. I don't know why. So we're going to do a little walking tour of the Corsair before we take off. I think we're going to start with the cockpit. Make sure this guy's not going to do anything. So I'll meander up to the front of the ship. I think I'm going to try and lock this door just to keep him. There we go. Although I don't really think it's locked. Like, shouldn't that little lever be up at lock? I don't know. I couldn't really figure that out. So anyway, here's the cockpit. Typical Drake design. Cables and military green garb everywhere. I do like the layout here of though. I mean, that's a lot of buttons. That's a pretty nice looking console they give you. I found the power off button, and oh yeah, there's Naked Man. Great. Disable, I don't know what that does. It was disable something, I forget. Open exterior, so we could, I guess, open the ramp from here. We could also lock all the doors, which I think I just, yep, I just did it there, just to keep our little friend out. Looking for other buttons. Nice little fan. Turn the exterior lights on and off. Spool up the quantum drive there. That's pretty much. Oh, and then there's the wing extender track. I don't think we should be doing that though while we're actually landed in a hangar, but we'll be doing that later. That's pretty much all the buttons you can play with on the console. I do like the exit though. I don't know if you noticed that as I kind of flew over it, but on the right side of all the chairs, like in the co-pilot seat and the turrets, there's like an ejection handle on the right side that you can pull to get out. Here's an exterior shot of the ship. Very nice. We'll do more of a closer inspection when we're in space, but this is at least a shot from the outside while we're in the hangar. Interestingly, if you notice the little posts there, the elevator apparently, I don't know what that's about, but anyway. Alright, so I'm getting out of the seat. I'm going to go check the co-pilot seat. Which originally I thought, oh, it's cute. I don't see anything. I don't know what it does. It's like your own back, but no, it drops you down into like a secondary bridge. Looks like you could fly from here if you wanted to. And it gives you access to a pair of Badgers. Well, it does, but actually those Badgers are the remote turret on the top of the ship. And again, I'm looking for all the little buttons. There's that's kind of cool. It's a little it's your exit out of the seat that looks like an ejection handle. And so I think all we really have here is power on, power off, and the turret. I think is all I found. But I do like the console. This is really much more detailed. So there's your remote turret on the top side of the ship. And it's just a pair of Badgers, but that's good. And it kind of yanks you back out of the lower part of the bridge. And there's this little terminal, you bought this probably very expensive ship, and they didn't bother to install this one terminal. You can't do anything with it, but I just thought it was funny as this little terminal line there, a bunch of cables hanging off it. So anyway, inside, oh, and there's a fan for the co-pilot. Very nice. So let's see what kind of things we can play with in here. There's this little section here you can open. I couldn't figure out what you do with it though. I mean, I think it said storage, but I couldn't get it to do anything except close back up again. So, and for storage, it looks like it's kind of full. There's like a thing in there. What are you supposed to do with that? You think it'd be empty to put things in. Anyway, so over here we have one of the bedrooms. I'm assuming it's for the pilot or captain, I guess. And you get a little storage area here. Very nice, very nice. I don't know what that is. I don't think the other ones had that. So and there's this emergency button on all the doors. It's like, I forgot to press it when I was done for the day. I'm dying to know what that emergency button does, but it's everywhere. It's like, I don't know if it sounds a general alarm on the ship or I have no idea. So here's a turret. We're going to hop in. And again, it's a pair of Badgers. Looking for power. There we go. Not bad. Not bad. And you can even fire completely forward with it. So if you had both, both turrets manned and plus the pilot shooting, that's a fair amount of shooting going, shooting forward if you wanted to. And there's my little, pulled my little exit, my little ejection lever there to get out. Oh, no, I didn't. I thought I did. There we go. I think I finally gave up on that and just press Y to get out. And then there's the other turret over there. And here's the, I guess, like the common area plus kitchenette, which still doesn't really do anything. You can't really do anything with any of the buttons, or, but it looks nice. Nice little silverware dispensary and plates and trays, cups, etc. And you can sit at the table, which you would expect to, except this is the one thing I noticed that was actually kind of neat, because I can't do this on my mole. If I press F4 here, I don't think I can do this on my mole. I seem to remember trying to do this for a shot, and I couldn't do it. The F4, the camera view had problems. It wouldn't let me do this. So that's pretty neat. I like that. I don't know, maybe I need to go back to the mole and recheck that, but I don't think you could do that. Okay, so in here we just have more sleeping quarters for the crew. Really, other than the bed and which, I mean, the bed is usable obviously, but nothing else is. They're all pretty much identical. So I think that was three out here in the common area, and then one up front for the pilot. And over here you have the bathroom with no mirror, interestingly. I don't know why you wouldn't have a mirror in the bathroom, or maybe I just couldn't find it. There's a toilet. I didn't sit on it, but you actually can sit on the toilet now, which makes me wonder how much longer it's going to be before we actually have to start using the bathroom in Star Citizen. I mean, we already drink. Eventually, you know, gotta do something. I also love all the cabling. I mean, you could hang yourself on that one. All the exposed cabling and pipes, and yeah, just wow, very exact opposite from like my C2, or from anything that Crusader would make, or Origin. So this is interesting. This is the grav generator. I thought it was great. Let's play with gravity. No. Although this makes me think maybe you can. I just couldn't figure it out, because there was a little, you know, red can't push this button kind of thing. Now here I couldn't do anything with this guy, unfortunately. And then you have a bunch of components. Here's the jump drive. So obviously this is engineering right here that we're in. There's your hydrogen fuel tanks, A and B. Here's life support. And again, a terminal I cannot access, which is probably good because I'd shut off light support and I'd die, but you know. More components. More components. Cooler. Power plant. Another battery. I don't know what they call it, a battery. I think that's the power plant, right? Then over here we have the docking collar. A little storage, some gun racks. I don't know what that is. I don't know what you put in there. I mean, it's too thin for a person or a suit. I don't know. So let's go and let's open up the door here, the docking collar door. This door I found a little annoying. You really had to lean outside to close this door again, and I couldn't find a button at the cockpit that would allow you to auto close it. But I almost had to fall out of the ship in order to close this thing. Yeah, see, I mean, I'm got like 1 foot out the door practically. There we go. I mean, obviously, I guess if you're in space, it's not a big deal. But boy, don't try and use that in the atmosphere. All right, let's get out of here. Time to go.
You are clear to launch.
And like, I think most Drake ships, the larger ones, the VTOL actually does do something. So there it goes pointing down. I noticed that like the Cutlasses do that as well. Checking to make sure the hangar door is opened. Alright, here we go. And of course, we have to bring up the landing gear. I don't know if I actually put the wings down at this point. I think I do. I just want to clear more of the building before I do that. There we go. That is really pretty cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Very nice, Drake. Very nice. Alright, let's head on over to Hurston. It is a little sluggish getting out of atmosphere, though. Even I think I hit the boost here at some point to try and push me along a little faster. But as you can see, if you're going to get it to you know, 10 kilometers, it's going to take a while. There we go. Nice view aft. Almost there. There we go. Okay, so I thought it was like 10 kilometers you had to be up. Okay, so we'll stop somewhere midway here, just so we're kind of out of everybody's hair. Nobody can mess with us. Maybe right about here. So now we take take a nice view of the exterior of the ship, which is really best done in 0G, I think so. And we'll hit the roof. Also, I noticed, even though I'm technically outside the ship, there's still gravity right here. It's not until I actually leave that pad that it is now 0G for me. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I did have problems, however, coming back onto the ship using the elevator, so I think I just went through the docking collar instead. So here's a nice shot of the exterior of the cockpit. And a front shot of the ship itself. And I don't know what that little red thing is there. I was very interested in that. I was like, is that, you think it might be for like refueling maybe? When we start having to do refueling in the future? I don't know. There's one of the turrets. A little close-up of the split wing. Very nice detail. I mean, there's some detail that you almost, it's like it's embedded in the wing. You can't really even see it, or at least you see it going into the crevices of the wing assembly. So, you know, kudos for SIG for going into that much detail. And here's the back of the ship where the access ramp is. And we have the other wing, which also houses the 8 missiles. That's the elevator retracting back into the body of the ship. So as you can see, it's gone. It's moved back inside. And we can see the other turret on the starboard side. And there's the docking collar. So now we'll re-enter the ship through the docking collar. It's funny how it'll let you open the door even though the we haven't closed the exterior door. It's like, doesn't that defeat the purpose of having a docking collar like that? If I can basically allow the oxygen to leave the vehicle, the ship. I don't know. I don't think they thought that one through very well. I love all like the colors of the pipes and all the wires, and pretty awesome. All right, so we're going ahead and continue on to Hurston. Alright, and through the magic of video editing, I will now really accelerate our trip to Hurston into basically 10 seconds. And we're there. Basically.
Quantum drive is now off.
Alright, let's lay in a course for Ariel, where we'll go pick up some Laranite. That's awesome to hear the thrusters. And this thing has a lot of thrusters. I forget how many, but I don't think I'd ever seen that many thrusters on a ship before.
Quantum drive is now off.
Alright, now we're going to find Bezdek. I also love that little fan on the left side of the console. Like that's going to keep me cool or something, I don't know.
Quantum drive is now on.
Great. So it's dark and my altimeter doesn't work. So, yeah. Just peachy. Hear those thrusters working? Yeah. That's Drake technology at its finest. Nice little exterior shot as we approach. So I'm putting down landing gear here,
Landing gear down.
and it's still, because I don't know if I flip to the exterior, to the camera view, exterior view, but the wings are folded up. So I don't know how this thing is, yeah, there we go. I don't know how this, I mean, I know it has thrusters, and I guess maybe that many thrusters makes it so you don't really need wings to fly, I guess. But this, the Corsair handles very well for, especially for a large Drake ship. That was one of my complaints about like the Caterpillar, and even to a certain extent, even the Cutlass series. The Cutlasses, no, they just didn't fly very well. They weren't, I don't know. Compared to my Origin ships or my Crusader ships, they just didn't fly very well. I don't know. I didn't like the way they handled their avionics were horrible. But that's not true of the Corsair. Corsair flying's great. I was very happy with how it handled. I had no problems whatsoever with landing. Yeah, I mean, granted, acceleration out of Atmo was sad, but you know, was not uncontrollable by any means. But I think in the future I will wait till the last minute to put the gear down, just because I think it looks pretty cool when it's flying in with the wings all separated and all that. Alright, so let's head on over to the storage building. As I walk past the elevator, basically. And we want the red one that says surface. And that's actually a pretty fast elevator too. I mean, I know that guy got on still, but compared to like my C2's elevator, I'm trying to think who else has an elevator. Maybe the Connie Taurus, you know, the Connie series elevators. I think they're kind of slow too. Not as bad as the C2. C2's horrible. That thing, I could have a parade of people come on with me if I'm not careful. So I'll go inside. Looks like we're going to need to find some food and water while we're here too. This is pretty funny too. I don't think I've ever filled. I know, granted, there's not a lot of. I only have 72 SCU, but I filled it with Laranite. That never happened ever. So in the PTU, I guess they must give you however much you want, and they're fine with that. And I'm looking around for a dingy gray box, and there are none in here, which is unusual. Usually there's one like right there. Sometimes over to my left. But instead I got a red box, which I really don't care about. And it has armor, which I don't care about. So we're going to make a real quick run over to Habitation, and they usually have a dingy gray box with food in it, and we'll just take theirs. Yep, there's one right there. I just need enough for one, just to keep me going for a little while. I don't need a lot. I don't know what I just noticed those little green boxes there. Was that, it was Christmas? Interesting. I'll have to do a little looting on Friday. See if I see any of those. So I can tell you I am notorious for forgetting to transfer looted material from the location I'm at onto the ship, so let's see if I remember to do that here. It is a pretty cool ship, I must admit. It's definitely growing on me. Gotta get the middle one. There we go. Alright, so from here we're going to head on over to Lorville.
Engines online.
And I just remembered I didn't transfer my inventory. And I have so little, I decided not to use voice attack for this, so I just manually transfer it. And those chairs look like they're the most uncomfortable things. I can't imagine like sitting in this all day long, and that just looked uncomfortable. I mean, it looked like a canvas seat, basically, strung across a couple pieces of metal. That was pretty cool. I do the same thing with my Scrapjets. I always have to watch it unfold. Yeah. Or the whole A, you know, when I expand or contract the spindles. That's not completely horrible getting out of atmosphere on a moon, of course, but and here's where we got hit by a 30K. Yeah, leaving Bezdek, which used to happen a lot. I stopped going to Bezdek for a while. It looks like in the PTU it's happening again.
Your systems are online.
But it did recover, so I was happy with that at least. But it took me about 15 minutes to get back to this point again.
Quantum drive is now off. Quantum drive is now on.
So I did fly down to Lorville, thinking I would sell the cargo, and then I'd go try running a bunker mission. But then I sort of changed my mind. So
Quantum drive is now off.
something I would never do in the real world, which is basically run around with a whole load of laranite. Instead of going to sell it immediately. So instead we'll go see how this handles flying for a bunker mission. Then we'll come back and we'll do the sell. Yeah, it looks like my altimeter's working. That's great.
Quantum drive is now on.
Like I said, this ship really handles very well. I was very happy with it, even in atmosphere. Unfortunately, I think when I came out of the 30K, I just put the wings. I'm putting the wings back out now, but I think when I came out of the 30K, it acted like as if it had, like it retracted everything, including the landing gear, of course, but the wings as well. But no, it handles very well. I was very pleased. I mean, I don't have any data on pitch rates and roll rates yet. But, you know, I mean, okay, it's not a dogfighter, but compared to, you know, I don't know, what other ships have, the Connie Taurus is just miserable to fly, as far as I'm concerned, you know, as far as pitch and roll. And this guy did fine. I really didn't have a lot of problems with it. It really does look like a pirate ship, though. I mean, this thing just screams pirate ship. Visibility is pretty good out of the cockpit too, I must say. Even though it has a few struts in the way a little, but not really in front of you. It's more like way off to the sides. I'm okay with that. I mean, if you didn't have that kind of thing happening, you'd have a bubble on everybody's ship. It'd just be a bubble, and that'd be boring. That's why I'm okay with the Connie, with the way they have the struts in that. Even though it looks like it's blocking, if you try flying that for a while, you kind of, it's almost like your brain is able to like remove it from your field of view. It just doesn't really bother me anymore, because I've been flying it now for probably about a week. I've had it for a while, but I never really flown it until I was looking at doing a review of it.
Landing gear down.
And usually when I do reviews, I like to actually use the ship for at least a week or two, just to really get comfortable with it. And if there's any real serious issues with it, it tends to come out within a week or two. And I really thought those struts on the Connie would be a real problem. I thought I complained about that throughout the entire review, but really after, I don't know, probably an hour of flying it, I almost didn't even notice them. This is the first time I'm landing at a bunker, so I kind of was very, I don't know if I would say conservative or liberal about how I landed, but I didn't get very close. Because there are some posts coming out of the ground that you kind of have to watch for. I was a little concerned about landing on one of them, which you would think you would just crush with the ship, but no. Apparently a post can make your ship blow up if you're not careful. So I am trying to keep an eye out for those, knowing that this is a larger ship and it's not going to be like my 325A or my Titan, where I can park right in front of the the front door there and mosey on in. And I can see some of the shadows there from the posts. I'm trying to avoid them. So far, so good. But we are pretty far away, and I think I could have gotten closer. But, with practice, I'll get it. I don't know, I'll have to see how much these things run when they come out. Both real money and also in-game. I mean, only 70 SEU is kind of meh. I mean, that's basically, I think I looked in it, that's basically what a raft, yeah, it's basically a little less than a raft. So obviously it wouldn't be like a dedicated hauler, but I would probably focus more on the expensive stuff, not the cheap you wouldn't like load this thing up with titanium, you know, or fluorine or anything. You'd go for the laranite or I forget how you pronounce it, agricium. And even then, you wouldn't fill this guy. You'd have to sit around for a couple loads, I think, before you could fill it. And if it wasn't for the 30Ks, I'd almost be okay with that, really. It's just, yeah. I mean, as you saw, literally I had one, I mean, and granted I'd been flying for over an hour, I think, at that point. But, well, maybe not an hour. Close to an hour. This is me with my little P4 that I had to buy at over at Noob because that's really about all they had. I mean, it's a good gun, it's just that it only has 30 rounds. And I can chew through 30 rounds pretty quick. That's why I like the FS9. That thing's got 120 rounds, and you can put attachments on it. So I can put a suppressor on it to keep the gun quiet, and you know, I can put a scope on it, and here I'm trying just 2 bullets at a time. Tell me how 2 bullets to the chest doesn't kill you immediately. I mean, really? So I start flipping back here, back to basically automatic mode. Yeah. And good timing, because there's a heavy dude, or a medium, I guess, medium armor dude. I still can't believe it took that many bullets to take that guy out. Like, 1 bullet should have done it. Okay, there we go. Down to 4. Ah, this guy gets away. Yeah. Oh, looks like they got 1 guy. And down to 1. And make sure this isn't a guard. Nope, not a guard. There we go. Easy peasy. So we'll take his gun because that's my favorite FS9. And we'll take his ammo too while we're there. And that's it for this mission. So I think we're kind of done here. We'll head on back out to the Corsair. That is a tall wing. I could see this could be a real problem on Microtech, because they got some wind up there, and that wing is going to end. That's going to just get you blown away. I might have to do a video on that, just see how this thing reacts in the wind.
Engines online.
Very nice, very nice. Wing extension. We'll get there eventually. There we go. Now I'll head back over to Lorville. See how the Corsair handles landing in that kind of environment. First of all, it's going to be dark because we're on the other side of the planet, and we have some clouds to deal with. Plus, we gotta be able to land, actually be able to drop into a hangar. So.
Drive is now on.
No, I'm wrong. It's daytime.
Quantum drive is now off.
I'm really surprised there's anybody over here. You would think everybody would be up at Noob. There's somebody off our port side, soon to be starboard. Alright, so we're heading over to Lorville Spaceport, whose name escapes me at the moment. I can see the little floating billboards, so I'm at least heading in the right direction. I'm going to try and get below the cloud layer here so I can actually see what I'm flying into. flying past Lorville Tower. Oh, see, that's a Corsair. Everybody's got a Corsair. Everybody. That's pretty funny. So we're just going to mosey over to the spaceport here. I say this guy handles really well. I'm very impressed. It must be the million thrusters it has holding it up. That's all I can figure.
Landing gear down.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Yeah, I really think if I'm going to be flying this thing, I need to not put the landing gear down until I'm ready to actually land. So I like having my little wings extended. But yeah, I'm feeling very confident flying this. There's no, you know, oh my god, I'm going to hit the ground moments or anything. It's very, it's very responsive. Even with the C2, sometimes I could be coming in and feeling like, you know, I'm probably going a little too fast. I think I better hit the space brake there a little bit. I'm not feeling it with the Corsair. So now we just got to line up with the hangar. This was my only concern because, I mean, it didn't look like that big a ship when I was at New Babbage, but I don't know. I was a little concerned when we got to this point that, you know, maybe they're giving me an exact fit hangar here. Yeah. And look at the height of those wings. I mean, or how tall the ship becomes when the wings fold up. But other than that, you know, easy to land, not a problem. I was very happy with that. Flight characteristics, perfect. And we'll try going out the rear ramp, just see how that looks. we can get past all of our cargo. There it is right there. And there's actually one on both sides, I noticed. That's a ramp. That is a ramp. It's pretty heavy duty. It takes me about a minute to figure out where the button is to close it back up again. It's not in the usual obvious place where they put it right by where the ramp splits from the vehicle. It's right there. Yeah, that's probably one of the more impressive ramps. I mean, maybe the Carrick one, because it extends and it's similar, but the ramp on this one was pretty heavy duty. Alright, so all that's left to do is head on over to the CBD and make our sale. So I think I'll leave it at that. Leave it at that for now. I think you've seen me going to the CBD enough from other cargo runs. It's just me admiring the Corsair one last time before I check it in. So anyway, thanks for watching and have a great day. Scrapjet out.